welcome to episode 262 of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library. We talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning, and I'm excited to be recording another All the Books Nights. We're recording late this time.
You believe this is our latest recording?
I do believe so. Yeah, I'd have to have Roger pull some files on that, but I know we've done several Nights episodes, but this is probably the latest. I'm feeling free. I'm feeling loose. How about you? How you feeling?
Yeah, good. I was planning to actually go to bed early, but you know what? It's never happened.
Is
in my
that
life.
true?
I don't know why I was planning this.
Is that
no,
true?
I was gonna take some Z-Quil.
Oh, jeez.
That crap is terrible.
Oh yeah.
I had to wake up early for a mobile mechanic to come to my house and fix my coil suspensions on my car.
Wait. He's like making house calls like a doctor from 1952?
Yeah, that's
wow.
his thing. Apparently, he's doing a big business right now, too.
Yeah, I imagine.
So he had to come and fix my coil suspensions, which have been rusted through and busted since March.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but they're pretty bad.
So he said he'd be here between 9 and 10 today, and I couldn't fall asleep last night, so I only got like 5 hours of sleep. And if you think he came during the 9 end of that, you'd be wrong.
No.
So I just didn't get much sleep. But you know what? It's fine. I'm doing good. I just wrote a whole outline for Storm Spotlight on my X-Men podcast.
Wow. Okay. Productive.
So
productive into the night.
Yeah, I'm ready to podcast. So let's talk Storm.
No.
Storm was created in 1975.
I'm so sorry. I hate to do this, but that's for your other podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Today we're in a back to school mood, whether we like it or not. School's in session.
Like it.
I know you don't. So we're going to be looking back at what was hip, what was cool when Eric and I started school. So stay tuned for a little blast from the past. Yeah?
That's true. But
okay.
I did preschool.
Well, yeah, I did preschool too, but that's why we settled on kindergarten. We're settled on kindergarten years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Well, let's dive into some bookmark.
All right. Created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum.
That's
she
Storm.
first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1.
I think you're still doing Storm. I think you're still doing
true.
Storm.
That's true.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of
read...
Storm in our collection, so that's that's a good advertisement.
We do, don't we? We have the Greg Pak Storm series, so that's like 2 volumes, of which I finished for my bookmark. I read volume 2, Bring the Thunder by Greg Pak.
Bring that thunder.
It's good. This is the series I would give to somebody who wants a Storm solo series and doesn't really know much about her. There's some pretty good standalone stuff in here, some fun action. Mm-hmm. So, skip that 1990s, 1996 miniseries by Warren Ellis.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'll take it right off the reading list. But we do have graphic novels on Overdrive and Libby.
That's fine, because Overdrive and Libby have a whole bunch of Black Hammer comics by Jeff Lemire. So I'm getting back in, and I'm going to catch up with Black Hammer. So I read Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil and Black Hammer, Streets of Spiral. Didn't really love either one of those. That's because I tend to care more about the Black Hammer main story that's going on. I also read some Jonah Hex via... the DC app.
That's fun.
Which may not be long-lived.
Yeah, boy.
And
it's a curio from a bygone era.
Yeah, and still, I fell behind on my reading plan with
oh my gosh,
book 5 of The Wheel of Time. So I'm still doing that.
I feel like me and the All the Books listeners have not been a good accountability partner for you on this reread of Wheel of Time.
I stumbled in my reading of The Fires from Heaven.
Yeah,
boy, that title sure lends itself to this analogy too.
Yeah, it does.
That we're doing.
Sure does.
But yeah, I mean, every time I pick it up, I'm enjoying it. It's just I've been trying to read all these comics because I've got these subscriptions. So.
Yeah, I get it.
Also, Kendra and I got to watch the first episode of Lovecraft Country.
Oh, okay.
Which premiered Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it takes some liberties with the story, but it's pretty good. Kendra was very tensed up during it because, again, just like the book, there's some of that Lovecraftian horror, which, sure, is scary. Yep. But then there's also that very real racist American horror. So when, our 3 characters are running out of town because a bunch of white supremacists are chasing them, it's a pretty intense scene.
I bet.
And then sometimes maybe a Lovecraftian monster or 2 will show up.
Remind me who the author on the book is?
Matt Ruff.
All right.
That was a book that was different than what I thought it was going to be, because it wasn't just one story from beginning to end.
Yeah.
It was a whole bunch of like stories that were happening throughout, and then it all kind of connects.
Okay.
So you switch back and forth between characters and times and everything. So it kind of read like a bunch of short stories that became part of a longer story. But the actress who played Black Canary in Birds of Prey is in it.
Journey Smollett.
Yes, I didn't recognize her because she doesn't have like that Black Canary hair from the movie.
I remember her back from like the Full House days, or more recently like Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of hers. All right, well, that sounds like quite a haul you've had there.
Yeah, I would suggest if you haven't read the book Lovecraft Country, I still recommend it. But if you haven't and you want to watch the show is pretty cool. Looks like HBO put a good amount of money behind it.
Nice.
It will scratch some of that horror and also real life, modern day things. So, yeah.
Let's see. I finished one of the graphic novels from our junior graphic novel section. So my son is his reading, I feel like, has really amped up, probably because of our quarantine times where we've just been home a lot. But I mean, he's been able to read more and more and more, and he's been really getting into comic books. So I've been going through our junior graphic novel collection. And he'd been reading one called Diana, Princess of the Amazons by Shannon Hale, and this is about Wonder Woman as a child, being sad that she's the only child on Paradise Island. So she kind of makes a friend, and then antics ensue. But it was good. It was fun. The cover has her in a more traditional, like at least the color scheme, and that was better than the art on the inside, which only has everybody like in white robes. I kind of miss like the Wonder Woman colors. And so it seems like after the book was done, they were like, we need a little something splashier on the cover. So I thought that was kind of funny. Right. But no, I enjoyed it as an adult, and I think there's a lot there for, the intended age to enjoy too. So again, it's Diana, Princess of the Amazons by Shannon Hale. Finished that Grisham book that I've been working on, The Reckoning. And this was one of the few times where like I finished it, I marked it red as Goodreads, but I didn't click a star rating because I'm still mulling it over. Because, so it's set in the 40s. It opens, and this is the synopsis, so I'm not giving anything away here. It opens with this man killing his pastor, and you spend the whole first third of the book going through like the trial and the aftermath and all that, and the whole time the man won't give any defense at all. He won't say anything.
Right.
And so it's just like a really long time without any information that you need to have, right? And then we have the second part is all of a flashback to his time in World War II, which is interesting, but is pretty irrelevant to the rest of the story. And then the third set is sort of the aftermath of the trial, like back in the present days, and just sort of goes through all the fallout from the actual event. And you don't find out the things that you want to know. You don't find out people's motivations until the last, like, maybe 10 pages of the book, and the book's pushing 500 pages. So it's just like, it was intriguing, but I just don't know that like the format really suited it, because I fully believe that you could pull out the whole middle section of World War II and not miss a beat. Like you just wouldn't be like, but what about, it doesn't answer anything. It's good, like it's a good section, but I just feel like as a book, structurally, something is missing to sort of pull it all together. So I'm kind of leaning towards a 2-star.
When did this come out?
It's newer.
Because I remember it's newer?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it'll be on the bestsellers list.
No, it's not that new. He's got, I think The Guardians and Camino Winds came after that, but it's within the last couple of years.
Newish.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know. On the fence about it. I'm very on the fence about it. I'm currently reading
Black... I can't do that. If I finish a book, I can't go to sleep without hitting red and giving it a star rating. Yeah. Because I think, what if I die in my sleep?
And no one will know.
No one will know. No one will care, no matter what I do.
I would care.
I do think, like, I can't have Goodreads. I can't have my internet legacy being like, oh, I guess he never finished that book.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would have liked it or not.
Well, if people wonder, you can tell the story for me, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But I think
I'm not sure.
I think I'm leaning towards 2. It's just hard because I was in it the whole time. I'm just disappointed with the... Anyway. Currently reading Black Panther by Jack Kirby.
Early Black Panther.
Yeah, this is the first Black Panther solo series. And I kind of thought before I picked it up that this was like the introduction of Black Panther. It's very much not. And in fact, I've read stories earlier in like the Black Panther legacy. But this is the first time that Black Panther gets his own title. Written and illustrated by Jack Kirby. And it just throws you in. I mean, it gives you nothing. You know, it's not a number one that's a very welcoming place for people who aren't super familiar with the character to come into. And of course, I've seen the movie and I read some of the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther and have, seen him in other things. But I would have liked a little bit more of like an intro into what we're doing here because it really tosses you in the deep end and it's like weird Kirby stuff. Anyway, we'll see. I'm having a good time. It looks good. Then I'm reading Oath of Office by Mark Cameron. This is a Jack Ryan book set in, the Tom Clancy Jack Ryan universe.
I've heard of this universe.
Have you now? And finally, yes. This is the end of the era, so it's hard to talk about. But I'm reading Mirror's Edge by Carol Davis, and this is the final Quantum Leap book.
Oh,
the final Quantum Leap book. And what's unusual about it is that's the way it's billed. It says right on the cover, like the epic conclusion to, and normally like tie-in fiction doesn't do that.
Right.
And Quantum Leap itself was one of those things where it was like abruptly canceled. And so it really doesn't resolve, which is very frustrating, very frustrating. But a few weeks ago when we did the Star Trek book club, we got to talking about Enterprise, which led us to Scott Bakula, which led us to Quantum Leap. And so it was kind of like, oh, hey, I still have one more Quantum Leap book to read. So that's what I'm doing. I also wanted to mention to you, Eric, after our conversation about fandom last week, that my wife and I completed the Jurassic Park 1 portion of the Lego Jurassic World game. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We're currently playing through The Lost World in Lego form. And it is surprising how much about that movie I do not remember. Because the first one, I was like beat for beat. Like, okay, all right. My wife had to remind me a few times, She'd be like, well, Malcolm has to get the torch. What's happening, But Lost World, we're both a little like, it's been a minute since we did it. But honestly, I know you're not a huge Lego game fan. I think you might like this one. Because
I like the Star Wars ones.
You get to play as all the characters. It's most of the real voices. And when you free dinosaurs or whatever, you get to play as the dinosaurs. I'm telling you, I think you might dig it.
Well, I think I might have access to it.
Ooh,
I share my Steam library with my uncle, and for some reason he owns all the Lego games.
They're fun. They're like a good mindless fun. I'm always a fan of those. Though I do miss the days when either the cutscenes were very short or you could skip them because sometimes it's like, ay.
Yeah, I miss when they were pantomime.
Yeah, I do too. I don't like the talking.
And yeah, now with all just the voice, and then you just hear the same voice clips while you're playing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was close.
Yep.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. I know.
I missed the early Lego Star Wars games where it was just like Padme breathing heavily and then she dies because she just gave birth.
Wow.
That was a dark example, but it's funny
Very
in a Lego
dark
situation.
Yeah.
Don't watch the scene, and that's
okay.
funny.
All right. Yeah, it sounds funny.
No.
All right, that's it for my book, Mark. Let's take a look at some book news.
Look into the future to see what it proves. It's time for book news.
All right,
okay.
The first thing I have to
She was originally a combination of two characters Dave Cockrum had planned originally.
Now, I know you're talking about Storm, but I actually kind of want to know the answer to that.
What? Well, you're going to have to listen to the episode.
Oh!
This is all backdoor piloting on my end.
Wait, I was just going to say, are we just recording right now so you can just draw attention to your side hustle? All right. Listen, I want to talk to you, Eric, right now about the YA phenomenon, Midnight Sun, the latest addition into the Twilight series.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I fervently believe with my heart that of the, let me get the exact number here. Okay, in its first week, it sold more than 1 million copies. In the UK, over a 3-day windows, it sold 62,000. Of those million plus, how many of those do you think are actual teens? Because I would guess somewhere in the ballpark of 0. That would be my guess.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Gosh, when did those first books come out? 2006, 2007?
Oh, yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, so, like, if all those people, man, maybe not, maybe before then, even longer than that, probably. Yeah. The point is, yes, they were people my age then, so I was like, maybe 20 or so. So we're talking about everyone who was like 18.
Yeah. I feel like the average reader is like pushing 40 at this point.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
anyway, the point. I'm pushing 40. You have to own it. You know, the point here though
I'm
is
still young. I'm still 34 years young.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I guess technically. I mean, I think 34, 35, 36 is what you would say mid-30s, but if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine.
I'm 34 years young. How about this heat? And you can tip me, but don't tip me over.
Okay. Stephenie Meyers, who not that long ago said that she was very much done with the Twilight universe, has now come out and say that she has plans and has already begun writing 2 more books. 2 more books in the Twilight universe. And she's not confirmed whether it's going to continue, like if they're going to be more like Edward-centric books, or if they're just wholly new books in the Twilight franchise. I don't know. But if you're a fan of the series, you can expect 2 more books coming from Stephenie Meyer somewhere down the road. She said she probably has other things she's going to do first, but those are most definitely in the works.
Up next on the combined print and ebook fiction for New York Times bestsellers list. Number 10 is Harrow the Ninth. This is the second book of the Locked Tomb trilogy by Tamsin Muir. Harrowhawk must overcome her failing health to become an angel of undeath.
Yay.
Number 9, 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. A relationship that started in 1993 between Mallory Blessings and Jake McLeod comes to light while she's on her deathbed and his wife runs for president. You know what? If this started in 1993, there's a good chance we're seeing Jurassic Park on a date.
You're right.
Yeah. Or I guess maybe like The Firm.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. With Grish.
Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, First Case by James Patterson and Chris Tibbetts. After getting kicked out of MIT, Angela Hoot interns with the FBI and tracks murderous siblings known as the Poet and the Engineer.
Okay, here's my color commentary. Has James Patterson forgotten that he already has a number series? Because that's really confusing. Because you already have Women's Murder Club, which I think the first one of that
title when you think about
first
it.
To die.
First case, second case, third case. It might as well just be called first book, second book, third book.
I know. The next one. The next one. The one after that.
The next one. Number 7, Near Dark by Brad Thor, the 19th book in the Scott Havarth series. With the bounty on his head, Havarth makes an alliance with a Norwegian intelligence operative. I was reading today to see how people in Sweden feel about the Swedish chef of the Muppets.
I've wondered that myself.
The article was talking about how most people there don't like him, don't think he's funny, saying he doesn't sound Swedish, and if he is Swedish, why is he a chef? Because that's not like an iconic Swedish thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of read that most people in Sweden think he actually sounds Norwegian.
Interesting.
So
it does seem like I'm kind of surprised they can still get away with that, because he's just saying gibberish. I mean, if at least he was speaking in actual Swedish, that would be one thing, but it seems kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, he's a strange character that has kept going.
He's endured. But we've been watching, on your recommendation, the short-lived ABC Muppets show.
Wow, yeah, that was a while ago.
And been having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I guess it's the first time in a while that I've seen Swedish Chef on the regular, and I have had that thought, like, this doesn't seem cool. Like, this doesn't really seem, anyway.
Yeah, the article was talking about how people, multiple people that the article author had interviewed were like, we're tired of the Swedish Chef and we're tired of being asked about ABBA. So
makes perfect sense. Do you remember the article?
It was from Slate.com. It was called "What Do Swedes Think of the Swedish Chef?" And it's by Jeremy Stahl. The subtitle is "They Think He Sounds Norwegian." Also, they'd like you to stop asking. So.
All right, we'll share that on Twitter.
How did I get to? Oh, because
I don't know.
Norwegian intelligence operative.
And he sounds
dark.
okay.
Brad
I'm
Thor.
with you.
Number 6, The Order by Daniel Silva. The art restorer and spy cuts his family's vacation short to investigate whether Pope Paul VII was murdered.
Huh.
So
I guess
I don't care if you're in the middle of the volleyball game.
Yeah. Maybe a pope was murdered. Just get your towel. Janet, get your towel.
You do this every vacation.
The Pope. It was the Pope.
My boyfriend's here.
Don't do this
You're
now.
the worst dad.
And scene.
Number 5, The Guest List by Lucy Foley. A wedding between a TV star and a magazine publisher on an island off the coast of Ireland turns deadly. You know what I would like to see a version of the Then There Were None Agatha Christie template?
Yeah.
A Muppets rendition.
Yes.
Yeah. None of them die. None of them turns. They're all getting captured.
Well, maybe
like,
you use the opportunity to kill the Swedish chef.
Holy crap!
So I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying like that's a way out if you're looking for one. You know,
bunch of Muppets on an island.
Yeah.
They keep going missing.
Yeah.
It turns out maybe it's some celebrity who feels jilted because he wasn't on the Muppet Show.
Man, Pepe would be amazing. Pepe the King Prawn would be amazing in that production.
The Silent Wife is at number 4 by Karen Slaughter. The 10th book in the Will Trent series. Investigations of 2 crimes force Trent to call on his girlfriend's expertise as a medical examiner.
Have you ever met anyone named Trent? I think not since like preschool days have I known a Trent.
Trent. Maybe. Yeah, maybe in middle school.
A Trent.
I knew a Trent. So
that's a name that's hard to take seriously. Trevor's.
No, I know a few Travises.
Yeah,
have I ever known a Trevor? Yes, I have known a Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a Trent. So, yeah.
I feel like there was one. I mean, Trent, if you're a long-lost friend of mine and you're listening,
yeah,
I'm sure we had some good times.
The Trents that have been forgotten.
Yeah, the forgotten Trents. Trent Lott.
Number 3,
was it
Sucker
Trent?
Punch.
Sucker Punch?
No, number 3, Sucker Punch by Zack Snyder. Is not a great movie.
No, it's not. It's really
Sucker
not.
Punch by Laurel K. Hamilton.
Just make each dream sequence different, and then maybe you've got a movie. Make everyone exactly the same. You have Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Do you enjoy playing the same level over and over and over again in a video game? Good news. Sucker Punch is the film
Zack
for you.
Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch.
Yeah. It's not sexist because people tell me it's not. Yeah. The 27th book in the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series, the evidence that a were-leopard killed his uncle doesn't add up.
Wait, it's the leopard's uncle?
The evidence that a were-leopard killed his uncle doesn't add up. So, Anita Blake...
Oh, a were-leopard. Like a werewolf, a werewolf, but a leopard.
Right.
Okay, so a man who turns into a leopard and possibly killed his uncle.
No.
Killed his own uncle? Did the were-leopard kill his own...
Okay, I was thinking maybe somebody's uncle was killed by a were-leopard.
Yeah.
But that's not true. What we're learning here is that a were-leopard's uncle was killed.
Okay.
And everybody's saying the were-leopard did it.
He's being accused of killing his own uncle.
Right. People are saying, you were-leopard, the were-leopard killed your uncle.
That's what I thought you meant. In leopard form, do they assume?
Yeah, probably.
It was in leopard form. Okay.
You think he was just in a human form? He's like, I'll kill him!
Who's the author on this?
This is Laurel K. Hamilton.
Laurel K. Hamilton. Wrote a great Star Trek The Next Generation book, by the way.
Well, she's been writing this Vampire Hunter series for 27 books.
She sure has, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I have the powers of a leopard sometimes, but I'm going to kill you with the lame powers of man.
Take that, uncle!
Yeah, you can be aware of anything, man. You get bit by a lycanthropy, you're aware of whatever.
Get your mom. I think something happened to the Pope. Get your mom.
Quick, name an animal.
Leopard.
Yeah, you can be a were-leopard.
Did you mean other than leopard? Because that's
I meant other than a leopard, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
A boa constrictor.
You could be a were-snake.
Huh.
Yeah.
At least you wouldn't rip your clothes that way.
No, you shed them.
Yeah.
Number 2, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. The lives of twin sisters who run away from a southern black community at age 16 diverge as one returns and the other takes on a different racial identity, but their fates intertwine. Wow. Number 1, 100 Weeks on the List, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Go.
Adelia Owens. Quiet town of North Carolina coast in 1969. A young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. A lot of people doing Zoom book clubs right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a go-to right now.
Well, that's exactly. Today was the day. Today was the day that we had our book club for Crawdads. So yeah. I mean, it's what everybody's read, so it's the perfect time to do that one. You know, we could never do it while it was like at its peak. Well, I guess it's number one, so maybe it's at its peak again. But we wanted to do it earlier, but the copies were all snatched up. But now, everybody except for you and the Swedish Chef have read it. Yeah. So, all right, Eric, journey with me, if you will, to the past.
What year is it for you right now, then?
Well, Eric, I started kindergarten in 1988. What about you, buddy? Where are you?
I started kindergarten in 1991.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a time.
The 90s were still young. I've received my second sibling a year ago.
Okay. Yeah. It's when you say you received your second sibling, it sounded like you saved box tops from like Frosted Flakes and sent them in.
Well, it was the early 90s. That's what you were still doing. You were still collecting box tops.
I know. I remember.
You mean I can have a younger brother?
I do remember. Were you excited?
I turned in 7 box tops?
What? Were you excited at the start of school years?
Listen, when I look back at the 90s, I don't know what was going on with me. When I think about my early, that 6 years old beyond,
sick duckbill hair.
I was just a creature of pure instinct.
Really?
Just moving through the world chaotically.
Like a were-leopard.
Things would happen and I wouldn't question them. I'm in a school now. I don't know what a school is. Okay, this is happening now. I'm learning that there's such a thing as a letter A, and that astronauts are a thing, and they start with the letter A. Sure, why not?
This is the weirdest explanation of school and childhood that I've ever heard.
Not? I'm just saying there were very few moments where I was like, this is what a school is. I'm in school. I just remember things being like, oh, I guess this is life now.
Wow. So you just little young Eric just taking his lumps, huh?
I guess. I mean, I do remember
whatever comes his way.
Having some issues when my mom left me at school.
Oh.
But I really don't remember ever questioning wait a second, I just spent 5 years not in school.
Yeah.
What's this crap you're throwing at me?
I was fine going to kindergarten. They asked us how to spell our names, and I said Nicolas, and the teacher was like, you forgot a letter, and I was like, no, I didn't. She was like, yes, you did, and I was like, no, I didn't, because there's not an H in my name, Mm-hmm. So we got off on the wrong foot. My kindergarten teacher's name was Miss E. She was the worst teacher I ever had in my life, and I had her for a later grade. She moved to teach a later grade, and I had her again, and it was not a good time. The worst teacher I've ever had.
I had a few run-ins with some teachers who think they knew something that I knew more than them.
Huh.
It's never a fight you can win as a kid or a student.
I had a great teacher in 5th grade, great teacher in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, elementary was kind of a rough haul for me.
In 6th grade, I had a teacher who had us watch a film on paleontology and dinosaurs.
Oh,
and at the end of it, she said, everybody write down one thing you learned from this movie.
And young Eric was born that day.
A 20-minute little thing on, this is what paleontology is like and this is some dinosaur stuff. I was in 6th grade. You're talking to a 12-year-old, 13-year-old Eric. I was honest. I was like, I didn't learn anything from this.
Oh, yowzer.
And she's like, you didn't learn a thing from this. I'm like, I already knew all this. I didn't learn anything. So I had to spend the rest of science out in the hall.
That's not where I thought that story was going to go. I thought you were going to be like, your hunger for knowledge was awoken that day or something. But no, you just had a bad attitude.
For dinosaurs? No way.
It sounds like you did.
I was learning about dinosaurs before kindergarten.
I don't think you were.
Listen, we've gotten off topic, and it's my fault because I'm so toxic about school. So
I understand.
I'm going to get into it. We're starting kindergarten. I remember liking kindergarten.
But the question that started this all that you still haven't answered yet, was the first day of school something that you anticipated at all? Were you excited about the first day of school?
I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember the first day of school. Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering if you're some sort of programmed spy.
No, I just don't remember what the first day of kindergarten was like. I probably had gelled hair. My mom probably gelled my hair. I don't know what kind of backpack I had.
I just mean in general, though, at the start of each school year. For me, I was really excited to get my school supplies. I would spend a lot of time, picking out the perfect, the coolest outfit to wear on the first day of school. Because, you hadn't seen your friends in months,
Oh, I moved around a lot.
Permission
Listen,
to treat the witness as hostile. Great.
Listen,
okay.
That's exactly what's going to happen whenever we talk school thing. But yeah, I mean, I moved around a lot. I think I went to 2 places in kindergarten. I like got along with the kids in school, but I don't remember having like too many friends. I was a problem child.
So you weren't. So you were not excited about the first day of school. That was not something that. Okay.
Maybe I was.
Well, I was.
Okay.
I was sad for the summer to end, but I was always really excited to like see my friends again and like start over. And it would be a whole thing about like, these are the folders I'm going to use for this subject, and like this is the cool. A lot of vests. I wore vests, especially 7th grade was the year of the vest. Anyway, we thought that since it's back to school time, we would talk a little bit about what was going on when we both went to kindergarten. So Eric, I've got a list of some of the things that were hot in 1988, and I think let's start with music. Let me tell you some of the
1988.
Let me tell you some of the hits when I was going to kindergarten. Okay, so I'm looking at like the Billboard Top 100 for 1988.
Wait! You started kindergarten in 1988.
Yeah,
and you were watching 90210 while it was airing. So you were like 8 years old when you were watching 90210.
I was probably more like 10. I don't think I started but yeah, it was probably like season 3. Okay. But you're getting off track. I'm looking at the top 100 for 1988. Let me tell you a few. Cher's on here. I found someone by Cher. A lot of George Michael representing here. We got Whitney Houston, One Moment in Time. Oh, a little Peter Cetera. Okay. Huey Lewis in the News, Perfect World on there. Michael Jackson's Dirty Diana. I know you're a fan of that song.
I do like Dirty Diana. That's a fun one. Dirty Diana!
Should Have Known Better by Richard Marx. Saw Richard Marx in concert, actually, with Ringo Starr. Some Rick. Patrick Swayze. She's Like the Wind. Patrick Swayze. The Dirty Dancing, for like albums for the year, it was like Dirty Dancing soundtrack and Faith by George Michael were just like jockeying for position on the top of the charts. A lot of Richard Marx in here.
Right through the One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston. That was for the 1988 Summer Olympics album.
Wow, that's cool. Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. We got White Snake. I'm talking with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to make a change. Okay, I'm gonna give you the top 10. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Roll With It by Steve Winwood. Hands to Heaven by Breath. Could Have Been by Tiffany. Heaven is a Place on Earth. Oh, yeah, I remember that song. Belinda Carlisle.
Ooh, baby, don't you know what that's worth?
Boy.
I had a music video idea. This is like in 2006.
Yeah.
I had a music video idea for Heaven on Earth by Belinda Carlisle that like I never filmed, but because I don't think the Catholic Church in my hometown would have given me permission to like film the music video. I had it. It was in my head. It was sweet. It was going to have Jesus playing guitar at the end.
We think it's the Pope, but we're not sure. That's why we have to go right now.
But I've unpacked everything!
So Emotional by Whitney Houston at number 6. Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses. Oh, here we go. This one has had a resurgence in the last 5 years. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. Hey, look at this. George Harrison. We got a Beatle on the list. Got My Mind Set on You. That was a big surprise for George Harrison having a song chart as high as that one did that late in his career.
That Rick Roll thing, I was in college when that happened in 2007. Yeah. Got on YouTube. I'm like, let me show you. Somebody did this fake trailer for like a Legend of Zelda movie. I click on it. Just gets sent straight to that Rick Roll thing. It
was good times.
Yeah.
Number 2, Inks, Need You Tonight. And number 1, Faith by George Michael.
Oh, is that the I got to have faith,
the faith, baby. Yeah.
Skip right over Sweet Child of Mine. That's a pretty good song.
I don't know it.
Really?
Yeah, I was in kindergarten.
Okay, but you knew all those others. You knew a bunch of the other songs and not kindergarten.
So that was the top 10 when I was in kindergarten. What do you got in 91? What's going on?
Baby Baby by Amy Grant.
Baby Baby. This was when she made the controversial switch from Christian music, right?
Maybe. I was in kindergarten. Surface had their song The First Time.
Okay.
Number 8, High Five had the track I Like the Way, The Kissing Game.
Okay.
Extreme had More Than Words.
Yeah.
I don't like that song.
You don't like More Than Words?
No, it's one of those songs that like
Wow.
it moves so slowly and it drags so much. I'm done with it.
You have a heart of stone.
Listen, maybe, but in sixth place is EMF's Unbelievable. Whoa! Anyway.
Yeah.
Timmy T had One More Try.
Okay.
Paula Abdul had Rush Rush.
Don't know that one.
CC Music Factory had Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now. Loved it back then. That was one of those songs that I knew as a kid.
Oh,
and
sure.
like at this point, I was like,
Yeah.
I love it. Color Me Bad came out with I Wanna Sex You Up at number 2.
Yeah.
And Bryan Adams at number 1 with Everything I Do For You. And I saw him last year.
I was right there with you, my man. I saw it too.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch had their hit with Good Vibrations. Also in this year.
To the Extreme by Vanilla Ice was a top-selling album at the beginning of 1991.
All right.
So, and Dangerous debuted in the end of 1991 by Michael Jackson.
Wow.
So, yeah, what was on that? What was the Black or White? Remember the Time, In the Closet, Jam, Who Is It, Heal the World, Given to Me, Will You Be There, Gone Too Soon? I guess I only know Black and White.
Is this the era of 90s music that you're into, or are you a little later 90s?
I mean, there's some good stuff in the in like 1991, but it's kind of one of those things where like a decade has to get on a few years before it really starts to come into its own.
Yeah.
So
look at that, Wilson Phillips. You're in love. I still kind of like Wilson Phillips.
But you know what? I do feel like 1991 kind of did start its decade a little early. Where it was going to go, you can see where the hits are going to be.
It doesn't feel like 80s music, that's for sure.
No, yeah.
What kind of stuff were you listening to in 91?
I don't know. In 1991, the Chippendale Rescue Ranger tape.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That's good stuff. All right.
I mean, if I was kindergarten in 1991, I'm probably still watching Barney, you know?
Wow.
Disney movies.
Uh-huh.
I think we might have the Little Mermaid soundtrack at home at this point.
All right.
Maybe not.
Well, now you're talking movies. Let's take a look at movies. I'm going to tell you what was big in film in 1988. So here are the highest grossest... not highest
grossest.
Not highest grossest. Yeah. Number 1, Garbage Pail Kids. No. Highest grossing films. Number 10, it's a tie. The Naked Gun and Die Hard. Seen both of them? I like Die Hard. Big. Very creepy movie now. I always liked it as a kid.
Why did I get to watch Big as a kid?
Seriously. I tried to show this. My wife had never seen it. And then I don't know, it's been a while now. But, you know, in adulthood, I was like, oh, we should watch Big. And we watched it. We were both like, oh, no. Oh, no. He had a full relationship with an adult woman.
Yeah.
Very unsettling.
You see, like, the foreplay at the beginning of the
movie.
You do. Why am I watching this as a kid?
You certainly do, yeah. Cocktail.
Yet, I could not see Jurassic Park in theaters.
Huh. What are you going to do?
But I could watch Big on tape.
I guess so, yeah. Nobody's eating off a toilet in Big, so maybe that's what you're...
people were snorting things off toilets in Big.
That's for sure, yeah.
Woo!
Cocktail. That's a movie about Tom Cruise being a flair bartender. It's not a very good movie.
I'm sorry.
Number 7 was A Fish Called Wanda. That's an acquired taste. I'm not sure. Are people still watching A Fish Called Wanda?
I saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid and I didn't get it. But I did watch Dangerous Creatures?
I think it's Fierce Creatures.
Fierce Creatures, which was like the same group.
Yeah, it's not a sequel. It's just
that was a bit funnier. I don't know. I was a kid. Why am I watching these movies as a kid?
I know. I like the concept. You know, I like that they like had a good time with A Fish Called Wanda. They were like, let's just do a different movie with the same cast. I think that's cool. You know. Yeah,
but it was like a 10-year difference.
Was it? Was it that far? Well, that's never good.
It's like the 90s, like late 90s, I think. 97.
Number 6, Rambo 3. Oh, haven't seen Rambo. Haven't seen any Rambos, so I certainly haven't seen Rambo 3.
I have seen the first Rambo. It's good.
Pretty violent, right?
Yes and no. It's different than you think it is because of like the later sequel's reputation.
I see.
It's actually a bit more like thoughtful in some ways than you expect.
Huh. Number 5, Twins. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. I love Twins. Weren't they going to make a new one with Eddie Murphy as like the triplet?
It was going to be triplets.
Yeah. But I don't think that ever... I don't think that's like a Corona problem. I think they just kind of backed away
that was
from...
a few years ago that was happening, yeah.
Look, I would have seen it. I would have seen it. Number 4, Crocodile Dundee 2. Haven't seen those movies in a long time. I haven't seen those in a good long time.
I did see the second one, but I didn't like it. Not like I liked the first one.
Yeah. Number 3, Coming to America. I love Coming to America. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. You not a fan?
I've never seen it.
Really? Well, they're definitely doing a sequel to that one, so you got to get on board.
Yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? At number 2, also a great movie. Our
love it.
past guest to the show, Mike Quinn, worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We didn't talk much about it, but he did.
One of those films that you can just kind of like look at it and be like, oh, that's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Bob Hoskins,
you know what I was thinking?
perfect in that movie.
I was,
Chris Lloyd, perfect in that movie.
Yeah.
Finally, Rain Man. Another
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, Dustin Hoffman. Great movie. The only one on here I haven't seen is Rambo 3, so I guess I got to watch the Rambo movies.
All right.
What's going on in 91, Eric?
All right, so I have 2 lists here because in 1991, Home Alone is the 3rd highest grossing movie of the year, but that had come out in 1990. That movie made so much stupid money.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not reading from that list, but just so you know, in 3rd place was Home Alone because it made so much money in 1991, even though it had come out in November. But
in
you know what?
some ways, that's kind of like the first of its kind. Like I can't think of a ton of movies that have I mean, I guess you could look to like old school like Dennis the Menace kind of vibe, or even like a Pippi Longstocking, but it was a pretty unique movie in 1990. Yeah, I mean I saw it in theaters. I remember that crystal clear. I remember seeing both of them in theaters.
You know what though? We're in the era now too, or still in the era where movies were playing longer. Yeah. So like now, a movie comes out in November, it's on DVD in December.
Yeah.
But anyway, number 10, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
Hey, the first Naked Gun was on my list.
Yeah, never seen it. I don't think. Maybe I did.
I can't remember. They all blend together to me. I feel like I've seen all 3, but...
Father of the Bride in 1991 with Steve Martin and Diane Keaton. And George Newbern, who would later play Superman.
Eric, we did a production of Father of the Bride together.
Yeah, you played the bride.
No.
No, you directed it. I played the father.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's how it actually happened.
You had been in a production of it, though.
I did. I did a dinner theater production of Father of the Bride when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I've done that show like 50 or 60 times.
Sleeping with the Enemy is at number 8. Julia Roberts.
Yes, that movie's intense. I almost rewatched it. We were looking for a movie the other night, and I was like, man, we should watch Sleeping with the Enemy. Maybe I will now.
I saw it on TV back in like 2005.
Yeah.
The Addams Family is at number 7.
Okay.
The first Addams Family.
Never really cared so much about those movies.
I remember liking that as a kid. Yeah, I remember laughing hilariously at the second one where Thing is trying to communicate that the family's in trouble, and Gomez is just like, "You're stuttering! You know I can't understand you when you're stuttering!"
Yep. Raul Julia, the late, great Raul Julia.
Yeah.
In that role.
Who absolutely nailed the role of M. Bison.
Yes, in Street Fighter. Yes, he did.
Addams Family is at number 7. Number 6. All right, I got some information to defend my own opinions here, but number 6 is Hook by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, you got a real problem with Hook.
Not just me. A 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, my friend.
That's crazy.
Do not pretend that I'm the only one.
That's
Even Spielberg has come out and said he's disappointed with that film.
So good. Bangarang.
No one likes that movie.
Most people do.
It's fine. Not most people. 29%, you maniac.
Yeah, but who's gonna go on Rotten Tomatoes and be like, Hook was a pretty good movie? No, you either go because you love it or you hate it.
Listen, well, no one was.
Truthfully, I had never heard that Hook was not a well-liked movie until you came into my life. So.
Until I came and ruined everything.
You took something precious from me.
I don't really understand it, because when I saw this as a kid, I hated it.
That's weird.
Yeah, there you are. I did have a friend, though, who also liked, besides you. He was like, when they're suing the Hook thing, it's so cool. I'm like, I don't know, Brian. My friend's name was Brian.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, Brian sounds cool. All right, what else?
1993 was considered a comeback year for Spielberg with Jurassic Park and Schindler's List.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy that he did those 2 movies in the same year.
That's a good year.
Number 5 is City Slickers. I've never seen this.
Billy Crystal. Actually, I don't think I've seen City Slickers.
Jack Palance.
I love 90s Billy Crystal. How have I not seen City Slickers? That doesn't seem right.
Number 4 is The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
Jodie Foster.
I remember. Never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
I've seen it. It's very good. Very creepy. I won't make my wife watch it, but it is very good. So kind of crazy. It was one of those things that I think it was like the first horror film blockbuster like that to win an Oscar.
Okay.
Number 3 is Beauty and the Beast, which actually came out in November as well. So or December.
Your list is crap.
What?
No, just kidding. Because it's the end.
No, I'm saying it came out in November 1991. So it made a lot of its money the following year. I saw Beauty and the Beast in theaters. I remember that. Actually, it's the only film on this list I saw in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I saw that in theaters.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
In 1992? So
yeah.
how old are you in 1992? 8?
9, yeah.
All right. Did you like it in 9? I mean, I guess at 9, this would seem like the coolest movie in the world.
Yeah, I do remember liking it, but there's a part where somebody gets their hands cut off, and that really stayed with me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can watch Silence of the Lambs then in 1991.
Yeah, I don't think I would have liked it, no.
I watched this in school in like 2000. Gosh, maybe it was 2000. And I just remember thinking, like, this isn't good, is it? I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights before I watched Prince of Thieves.
Okay.
So a lot of the jokes I just thought were funny, and then I found out they were making fun of Prince of Thieves specifically. Number 1, one of the greatest films ever made, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And then you liked all of the subsequent Terminator sequels after that. All right, let's move on to the next...
Not true.
All right, let's save books for last.
Beauty and the Beast is pretty good. That was also Oscar nominated.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that was a big deal at the time too.
Animated film to win be nominated for best film.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So kind of a crazy year at the Oscars. I guess
it was. It certainly was.
Beauty and the Beast was a big deal.
Let me give you the top 10 on the Nielsen ratings for the 88 to 89 season. A couple of honorable mentions that don't crack the top 10. For me, would be a show called The Hogan Family. It was an early Jason Bateman sitcom that I loved. I would watch it right now if it was on, but it's not available anywhere. But the top 10 is Anything But Love. Very, very much a show of its time. That was Richard Lewis. You know Richard Lewis?
Yes.
Okay. Richard Lewis and Jamie Lee Curtis. And that was a show that was like popular, but the production company was like, yeah, it's a lot of work. We don't want to do this anymore. So it actually wasn't canceled by the network, but the production company was just like, let's wrap this up. But kind of a weird deal because Jamie Lee Curtis was like at the peak of her Jamie Lee Curtisness. So number 9 is Empty Nest, which was a spinoff of the Golden Girls. Richard Mulligan starred as Harry Weston, a doctor. Did you ever see this show? Had a dog named Dreyfus? Nothing? Love it.
No.
Also, not available anywhere. You can't stream it. It's not on DVD.
Look, listen, unless it was a Disney cartoon show or a very adult Tom Hanks comedy, I wasn't watching it as a kid.
Understood. Understood. Number 8, my girl Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote.
Sure.
Boy, I'm telling you what, the songs and the movies I saw like later in life and listened to later in life. But I feel like I was watching all of these shows at this point.
You were in front of the TV watching
Seriously.
Prime Time.
I know.
1988. Kindergarten, you were like, did you watch Murder, She Wrote?
Number 7, Who's the Boss? How do you cancel Who's the Boss
all right, I did watch
without
Who's the Boss.
resolving the Tony Angela situation? Like, sure, of course they get together.
How are you threatening to bring it back now?
That's insane.
Without Angela.
Without Angela. Don't do it. Number 6, The Golden Girls. Still funny. Still funny even today.
I watched a lot of Golden Girls, but I know I watched some Golden Girls as a kid.
Everyone did.
Probably a lot of that dirty humor went over my head.
That show's pretty filthy, actually.
Yeah, I know.
If you go back and watch it now, you're like, whoa. Number 5, 60 Minutes. Tick, 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 tick. Number 4, Cheers.
You were a big...
Yeah, I watched Cheers.
Did not watch Cheers as a kid.
I watched Cheers. I remember really clearly watching the final episode of Cheers and being like, this is a big deal.
In the 80s, or like when I was before kindergarten, I was watching like Small Wonder or whatever it was called.
Yes, I love Small Wonder.
So
yeah, she's fantastic, made of plastic. Yep.
Yeah, Punky Brewster.
Punky. So. Another show that's back, going to be on Peacock. There's a new Punky Brewster. Without George Gaines, who passed away.
Sure.
Number 3, A Different World.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, Roseanne, which I saw but never really liked.
Yeah, why did I watch any Roseanne as a kid?
I don't know.
Again!
I'm not sure.
Couldn't see Jurassic Park in theaters, but I'm watching Big and Roseanne? What the crap?
Yep.
My mom listens to this podcast. I shouldn't be calling out this stuff. I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's
I was
weird.
the first
You
born,
just watch it. You just see
Yeah.
what's on.
Yeah.
Finally, number 1 NBC show about the Huxtable family, starring Felicia Rashad and Malcolm Jamal Warner. Dallas on the lowdown here. Dallas is number 29.
Did you watch Dallas?
Not good for
in the
primetime
sixth grade?
soaps. We got Dallas. We got Knots Landing at the very bottom. Wonder Years still hanging on. Head of the Class, I did watch. Growing Pains, I did watch.
Yeah.
And Elf. Yeah, so it's a good time. It was a good time for TV. What's your TV?
I don't have the top 10. You know what I got? I've got the shows that are debuting in 1991.
Okay.
To give you a sense of where we are in 1991. Blossom debuted.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
I wasn't watching Blossom, but I was watching The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Okay.
I watched The Pirates of Dark Water, the Hanna-Barbera dark fantasy thing.
Yes.
Clarissa Explains It All.
I love that.
So Nickelodeon, I guess, is the thing right here in 1991, because Doug also premieres in 1991. The show Dinosaurs. Did you watch Dinosaurs as a kid?
Yep.
Salute Your Shorts airs in 1991. Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy Show, and Doug were all in 1991. Over on Fox Kids, Nick, Tasmania.
Sure.
Yeah, it was airing. Darkwing Duck. Did you watch Darkwing Duck live?
Yeah.
Yep. Bucky O'Hare, I remember liking, but I don't think it lasted long.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario World, the show. I loved it. I had the macaroni and cheese.
Oh, it's so bad.
And we had the game. I loved it.
Yep.
The James Bond Jr.
Yeah.
You interviewed a writer of said show.
I did, yeah. Go back and find our interview with Mel Gilden. We talk a little bit about James Bond Jr.
I didn't watch Home Improvement as a kid when it was like early on.
Oh, I did.
That would be later in the, I think. But yeah, all those cartoons I watched, Step by Step was 1991. You know, I always thought Step by Step was later. But I guess it just lasted for 6 seasons.
It was a long one there.
And Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, I loved it.
The Jerry Springer Show.
No, not a fan.
The Disney Channel did Adventures in Wonderland.
I don't remember that.
You know what's crazy? I watched all of those cartoons. All of them.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next topic?
Final on the list here is the books. So I'm looking at the New York Times bestsellers list for 1988. So I'm just going to run you through the year. We start the year with The Tommyknockers by Stephen King.
You love Tommyknockers.
Never read it.
No, but you love the Tommyknockers. No, wait, not Tommyknockers. Night Knocker.
Yeah, I like the Night Knocker in the Institute. Yep.
That was the only
Tommyknockers. And then Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe takes over. Stays on the list from January 24th to March 13th. Next, we have The Icarus Agenda by Robert Ludlum, which I haven't read, though the first Born Identity book is great. I love that book. Okay. We have Zoya by Danielle Steele, still at the top of the list my whole life.
Yep, she's the queen.
Alaska by James Michener.
You've never known a world without Danielle Steele.
I haven't. No, I haven't. It's Danielle
list.
Steele's world. I'm just going to kindergarten in it.
Yeah.
The Cardinal and the Kremlin. Hey, a Jack Ryan book. Sequel to Hunt for Red October. Topping the list from August 7th to October 23rd. Then we have Anne Rice with The Queen of the Damned. And finally, The Sands of Time by Sidney Sheldon. Sidney Sheldon, I feel like, is an author that didn't quite last past the time. You know what I mean? Like, now I feel like I mostly see Sidney Sheldon books in book sales and things, you know? Like, I don't see a lot of people picking up Sidney Sheldon books these days. So that's it. That's my list of bestsellers. What about you?
All right, so this is the bestsellers list for... did you do the top 10 again?
I just did the whole year.
Yeah, the whole year. Okay, then I got The Plains of Passage by Jean M. Ural in 1991. The Secret Pilgrim by John Le Carre. Cold Fire by Dean Koontz. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Danielle Steele.
There she is.
Cirrus of Kell, David Eddings. Love Music, Loves to Dance by Mary Higgins Clark.
Hey, do you remember that lottery ticket Mary Higgins Clark book that you read? For more on that, you can go listen to our Mary Higgins Clark episode.
For some reason, June 23rd, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss.
Graduation. I mean, that's the graduation book to this day.
Okay. Heir to the Empire was a very short time. For
1 week. Yep.
By Timothy Zahn.
Big business.
The Kitchen God's Wife by Amy Tan. The Sum of All Fears by Tom Clancy.
Is that a Jack Ryan book?
I believe Jack Ryan, yeah.
Okay.
Then,
sure, because Ben Affleck is Jack Ryan in that movie. And
then the last bestseller of the year from October to December is Scarlet by Alexander Ripley.
Oh, yeah, like sequel to Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow, that's a good long haul on the list there.
Yeah, hey, real quick though, in 1991, Sega releases Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis.
Oh, I remember.
Then becomes a pack-in game.
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter 2 enters the arcades for the first time. The Super Nintendo is launching in... Super Mario World is launching in Japan, or in here in America. Let's see. Legend of Zelda's on its way. Any big... Civilization begins.
Oh.
The Civilization series begins. Were you like a day one adopter of Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991?
I was like, I remember the marketing for the Sega Genesis was everywhere.
It was like, bananas,
like
too.
Dropping leaflets from the sky kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
I was saving up big time for a Sega Genesis. And I remember I went to the store with my grandpa, and he was like, well, wouldn't you rather just have some new games for your Nintendo? And I was like, no, I have to get a Sega. And he gave me the rest of the money for it, and we got a Sega, and it came with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
My version
you would have got it then in like 91 or 92.
Yeah, I definitely had the old, like the big chunky old Sega. And my Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge says not for resale across the front of it because it was the one that came with the console.
Yeah, it came out in June 1991.
Yeah.
I had family or friends that had Sonic, so I got to play like each of the 3 Sonic games in pieces, but never had it. But I did like the cartoons, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
So
especially the serious one. The goofy one, less, but the serious one's a lot of fun. Do you feel in touch with your kindergarten self?
Yes, sure.
Do you? Now that you know what was going on in the world?
I've got a lot of love for my times in kindergarten, I guess, in preschool. It's not until later that I really started to sour on school.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, kindergarten.
But sour you did, you little Sour Patch Kid.
But I mean, in kindergarten, what do you really do?
Kindergarten's a good time.
I learned that astronaut starts with A.
I learned that there's still not an H in my name, Miss E. Golly.
Yeah. Don't think you can just pull some random dinosaur info off your VHS collection and show it in science class and expect some kids to be like, oh, dinosaurs, paleontologists dig up bones. Oh.
Who were your best friends in kindergarten?
I could not tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember it so well.
I think I was recovering. I had epilepsy in kindergarten. My life was different.
That is a little different, yeah. Yeah.
Traumatic
brain injury would probably keep your... Brandon Earls was mine. Brandon Earls, Dan Manson, Rochelle Hamlin, Katie Penn. Those were that was my core. My posse. I still talk to most of them to this day.
I didn't really make like long... I remember my friends' names from 2nd grade and on.
Who is your oldest friend that you still keep in even somewhat regular contact with, even a couple times a year?
I guess it's my friend Matt.
All right. We've got a couple of book clubs coming up for some library news. We're doing, at the end of the month, we're doing 1984 as part of the Banned Books book club for that week. And then we're going to be doing Mexican Gothic for Hispanic Heritage Month. Yep, we're doing a back-to-back thing for Halloween where we're reading Frankenstein and then we're reading Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein and kind of looking at the two of them together. So that's going to be 2 separate book clubs. But yeah, Banned Book Week and Mexican Gothic is coming up. So check those out. We'll probably be out on the front terrace doing that. We had a good time with the Star Trek one and with Where the Crawdads Sing. So hope you can join us for those book clubs. Anything else you want to add to the good people of the All the Book Show?
Dream On.
Yeah. When did Dream On come out? Is that relevant to our conversation?
No, it's the 70s.
Darn it. All right. I'm going to go listen to some late 80s music, so I got to go.
Yeah, she later became the leader of the Morlocks in a fight against Callisto.
Storm. Okay. All right.
Storm.
Yes.
Storm, everybody. Okay. Previously on X-Men.
All right. Jeez.
At your local podcast store.
Do we get a cut of this? It just seems like a lot of... All right. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the All the Book Show. We'll see you next time when we're talking about Storm. No, that's not true. Okay, bye.